Hello and welcome to Citizen Speak. My name is Garrett Martin, and I want to talk to you about Paul Ryan, the former vice president hopeful and Republican, has recently thrown his hat into the ring for Speaker of the House, and he had a certain list of demands, two main ones. Number one was that he would have more time for his family than Speaker John Boehner had, instead of being the fundraiser for the GOP in the House. He would be able to just focus more on the job and then just leave the job at home and then leave the job at work and then just go home to his family. And the other one was that he needed the House Freedom Caucus to back him before he would run. Now, there's two wonderful things about this. Number one, with wanting the duties of the Speaker of the House back down a bit from being the fundraiser. The reason why he wanted this is he doesn't want to do as much work as John Boehner was doing. And by all means, I don't believe that the Speaker of the House should be the fundraiser for the GOP party or anyone in the House. You know, if you're an elected official, you need to do your job to raise your own funds for your own campaigns in your own districts. And you don't need to rely on the Speaker of the House to do this for you. And yes, the Speaker of the House has a lot of pull. But one of the things about the fundraising is we have money in politics that's grossly out of control. So this is kind of a signaling step towards fixing that. And not that it will be, and not that the GOP will even push for it, because they love to line their pockets. I mean, you look at Donald Trump and his running, he's making new business deals. He's lining his pockets more and more with money. You have Ben Carson, who is basically using his 2016 campaign to push his book now. He paused his campaign, one of the most vain things that he can do, just to push his book that he had just published. Now, back to Paul Ryan and his Speaker of the House, and on him having the Freedom Caucus back him. The reason why he did this is the Freedom Caucus is one of the more extreme sects of the GOP. They push for government shutdowns. They push for like the Planned Parenthood committee, which didn't find any evidence at all. And they aren't afraid to make huge mistakes and then take ownership for it and laugh in the American public's face about it. So he said that he needs them to back him. And it's a really great play, because now if he becomes the Speaker of the House, the Freedom Caucus can't say, oh, well, he's a horrible leader and we didn't back him. No, he'll have their support for at least the next 6 months. And they won't really be able to go against him. So really whatever is on his agenda is now on their agenda. And they said that they would fully support him in Speaker of the House. And that's exactly what's going to happen. And this morning, since after the Freedom Caucus had backed Paul Ryan, you have two other groups who have even backed him now as well for Speaker of the House. And it's pretty likely that he is now going to become the next Speaker of the House. And honestly, for all the other candidates that we have to choose from for the Speaker of the House, he's definitely one of the more qualified. Definitely don't think that he was qualified for vice president. Way too green for being a vice president. But as Speaker of the House, if you look at his voting record, it aligns fairly well with the GOP, and that talks about what he wants to do with the GOP. He wants to unite them and make them a little less radical and get back to getting public support. So Paul Ryan is most likely going to be the next Speaker of the House. All right, my name is Garrett Martin. I'm the host of Citizen Speak. Thank you for liking and commenting on this podcast. Make sure that you share it with your friends. And thank you very much. Also, you can find us on Twitter at SitSpeak.